Julia and Brandon's official divorce, a 90-day fiancé story. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The air in Dinwiddie, Virginia was thick with late summer heat. Brandon Gibbs sat at the kitchen table of the farmhouse where he had grown up, staring at the crisp stack of legal documents in front of him. His hand hovered over the last page, the one that required his signature to finalize the divorce from Julia Trupkina. Julia, his wife of several years, sat across from him. Her dark hair was pulled back, her eyes sharp but weary. They had been through so much together. Cultural clashes, family disagreements, struggles with finances, the infamous farm chores that had once driven her to tears on 90-Day Fiancé. Yet now all those memories felt like they belonged to a different life. "Just sign it, Brandon," Julia said quietly. Her voice didn't carry anger. It carried exhaustion. Brandon took a deep breath, picked up the pen and pressed it to paper. His signature curled across the page. In that moment they were no longer husband and wife. The silence in the room was deafening. When Julia had first arrived in America from Russia, the two had been inseparable. Their love story had captured the hearts of fans. Julia's fiery personality and Brandon's laid-back charm made them one of the most talked-about couples on the show. But off-camera life was far from perfect. The constant pressure of living with Brandon's parents, Ron and Betty, had taken its toll. Julia wanted independence. Brandon valued family tradition. Arguments about farm work, jobs, and where to live began to overshadow the romance. "We kept thinking the next chapter would fix things," Brandon later told a producer during a confessional interview for 90-Day Fiancé. "Where are they now? First it was moving off the farm, then getting our own place, then talking about kids. But every step something was still broken between us." Their relationship had been rocky for over a year before the divorce. Friends noticed the tension. Julia would post cryptic Instagram stories about feeling trapped or misunderstood. Brandon, on the other hand, kept mostly quiet but was visibly stressed in public appearances. The final straw came during a trip to Las Vegas earlier that year. They had gone to celebrate a friend's wedding, but instead of enjoying the weekend, they fought about everything. Money, their future, even what time to leave the hotel room. "I remember looking at him across the table at dinner," Julia recalled, "and realizing I didn't recognize the man sitting there. It wasn't Brandon, my husband, it was someone I no longer knew how to love." When they decided to end the marriage, the news spread quickly. The 90-Day Fiancé fan community erupted. Social media was flooded with speculation, some blaming Brandon's parents, others accusing Julia of chasing fame. In an Instagram live, Julia addressed the rumors. "We loved each other. But love is not enough when two people want different lives. This is not about TV. This is about real life, and in real life sometimes people grow apart." Brandon released a short statement of his own. "Julia will always be a part of my life story and I wish her nothing but happiness. This is a difficult time for both of us and we ask for privacy." After the split, Julia moved into a small apartment in Richmond. She started focusing on her dance career again, teaching classes and performing at events. Photos on her social media showed her smiling, traveling and reconnecting with friends. Brandon stayed in Dinwiddie, helping his parents with the farm and taking on more shifts at his pest control job. Those close to him said he had been quieter than usual, but also more focused on personal goals, saving money, working on the house and spending time fishing with friends. Still, there were signs that the divorce had left both of them deeply shaken. Months later, TLC invited them both to appear on a special reunion episode. It was the first time they had seen each other since signing the papers. Sitting on opposite ends of the couch, they answered questions from the host. "Do you still love each other?" the host asked. Brandon hesitated. "I'll always care about Julia," he said. Julia nodded. "And I will always be thankful for what we had. But sometimes, letting go is love too." The moment was bittersweet and fans watching at home couldn't help but feel emotional. Today Brandon and Julia are officially divorced, but their story is etched in 90-Day Fiancé history. They remain civil, occasionally liking each other's posts online, but both have made it clear that reconciliation isn't in the cards. For the fans, the end of Brulia is the end of an era. A reminder that even the most captivating reality TV love stories are still real relationships, with all the complexities and heartbreak that come with them. And as Julia once said in a heartfelt post, Life goes on. The chapter is closed, but the book is not finished. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, sneak peek. Brandon says Julia won't make fertility appointment. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Star Brandon Gibbs can't handle all the family drama around him. In Us Weekly's exclusive sneak peek of the Sunday, July 27th episode of TLC's reality show, Brandon, 31, finds himself at odds with Julia Trubkina over their road to parenthood. The doctors in Russia said that it's not likely she can have kids, Brandon reveals in a confessional interview. I know this is a sensitive issue for her. It's why I really don't want to press too much. But at the same time, Julia agreed to schedule the second opinion, and so I've been waiting weeks for her to schedule it. According to Brandon, he hasn't seen any effort on his wife's part to learn more about what's going on. No appointments made or anything, he explains. I am afraid that Julia is never going to book this appointment. Instead of having a one-on-one conversation with his wife, Brandon decides to bring it up in front of his parents, Ron and Betty. The move doesn't exactly impress Julia, 31, who is eagerly waiting for her own parents to visit. We are talking about different stuff now, she says. My parents not even here yet and you're trying to push me for that? Later this season, Julia's parents are expected to pay a visit and hang out with Brandon and his parents. While the gesture sounds nice, there's already drama brewing as Ron and Betty aren't sure where they are going to sleep when the family reunion happens. My dad going to stay in a guest room. My mom going to stay in a dog room, Julia explains to her in-laws. This is not your room. This is guest room. When Julia reminds Brandon's parents that they are a 90-minute drive from the house, it's not enough to stop Betty from sharing her concerns, and pointing out Julia's parents aren't even married. We can't come while they're here because we don't have anywhere to stay, she proclaims. Instead of defending his wife or chiming in on the conversation, Brandon attempts to stay busy by working in the background. The gesture doesn't exactly win him any brownie points with his wife. Brandon, you didn't want to involve this conversation and you sitting and not doing nothing, Julia says. That isn't fun, Brandon. The drama continues when 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? 90 Day Fiancé's Julia Trubkina reveals identity of mystery man after leaving America without Brandon. A mystery man in 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Star Julia Trubkina's photos left fans confused after she left the US without Brandon Gibbs. Julia and Brandon from 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 were first seen in 90 DF Season 8 when Julia moved to Virginia on a K-1 visa. Julia is from Russia, and once she received her citizenship, Julia wanted to bring her parents to visit her. However, Brandon was against the idea. Brandon also pushed Julia to have kids. Brandon and Julia's marital issues remained unsolved even after couples therapy on the last resort. Julia seemingly went against Brandon's wishes recently when she took her parents to a visa interview. A mystery man accompanied Julia in the photos from Serbia. Julia has now revealed the identity of the unidentified man in her Instagram post. Are we look similar? Julia wrote as the caption for her photo album that had pictures of her smoking hookah with the man. In a different photo, Julia and the man were caught jumping midair on camera with the Belgrade fortress in the background. He also appeared in a selfie Julia clicked with her parents. Julia explained in her caption that she received a lot of messages asking who is this? Julia added, this is my brother. Julia recently revealed that she was in Belgrade, Serbia, and shared several photos with her family. One of the pictures included a man fans didn't recognize, which led to speculation about his identity. Since Brandon was noticeably absent from the photos, some followers began questioning his whereabouts. Julia posing with the unidentified man instead of her husband sparked rumors that she might be seeing someone new. However, she later clarified on Instagram that the man was her sibling, signaling her intent to clear up any misunderstandings among her followers. Julia cheated on Brandon during a brief split before she moved to the United States, and the incident has left a lasting impact on their relationship. Even after 5 years of marriage, Brandon has not fully forgiven her. Tension resurfaced when Julia attended her parents' visa interview without Brandon, signaling that the decision was hers alone and she disregarded his input. She had filed for their visa behind his back, a move that reportedly left Brandon furious, especially when the truth came out during a therapy session. Julia wants fans to know she hasn't left Brandon or started a new relationship. She will be returning for a new season of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, though her and Brandon's storyline for season 9 remains under wraps. The couple is confirmed to be part of the cast, but their absence from the trailer hints at possible surprises. Whether the show will address the current state of their marriage is still unclear. For now, Julia seems to be in a better place emotionally after spending months mourning the loss of her beloved pet dog.